We'll call this work session Monday, November 4th to order. Formalities were given at the organizational meeting, so we'll move straight into the meeting. Number one tonight is discuss the request to proceed with rezoning for the racetrack. Mr. Bert Boykin, who wants to speak on that tonight?
Good evening. My name is Bert Boykin. I appreciate everybody being here tonight. I'm here on behalf of the applicant Racetrack. This is a rezoning request for the property east of the Chick-fil-A. It's a vacant lot that currently has a number of zonings, R4, C3, C4, R1. We're asking for one consistent zoning to C3. I trust that the council has seen our application and all the supplemental information that we provided last week, so I won't go over all of that again. But what we hope to accomplish tonight is elicit conversation. If anybody's got questions or concerns, we would really appreciate the opportunity to talk with y'all about it tonight, given this is a work session. With me is Victor Supov, Racetrack. I got the entire team. Les Lewis, the developer. Blake McAnally, our engineer. So I think we would be able to ask or answer most of your questions, but in the event we can't, we will follow up promptly after leaving here and get you that information. So the goal is to be as transparent as we can, explain what we have going on, and hope to gain your support. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions for Mr. Boykin or any of his team?
I would like to ask, how's the lay of the land with the residents around there? Are they for this, they against this, they don't know?
So I think like any proposal where you're going to take a vacant piece of property, there are some folks that have been opposed, and a few spoke at the Planning Commission. There are others that were either supportive or indifferent. Racetrack here and other places has a practice of holding neighborhood meetings ahead of filing their application to have conversation, explain their business and their site design. And coming out of those meetings, Racetrack agreed to implement some of the resident suggestions into our site plan, which there's a buffer, eliminated some truck parking, and access from a side street that would have been closer to the neighborhood. So we've been in contact with all those folks. We've engaged as much as one can, and I feel there are those that support us. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Now, this piece of land, of course, I saw the first designs, and I see where the cutbacks were in the back and all that. Is there more development going to be toward the back of it? Do we know that, or is that not something we can't talk about yet?
Our site plan is all Racetrack is going to develop on there.
Okay.
So no, there won't be like a separate parcel that they convey to a third party. That's not the plan. No, sir.
Okay. But you're asking to rezone the whole thing?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And I think that is required where the current layout of the building would touch all those zonings. So just to give a consistent C3 zoning for all of it. And that is the C3 is the current zoning on the frontage of the property along Michael Way.
Yes. And you're going to do away with that fake street that's up there?
Oh, are you talking
The blocked off one?
we're doing away with the street?
That's within Alabama DOT's right of way on Highway 35, so it's actually not even on the property. That is not a consideration.
Okay.
Yet.
Okay.
And the one thing I wanted to add about the consistent zoning is, in the neighborhood engagement, I think what we heard repeatedly out of the neighbors is that they certainly did want more apartments backing up to the neighborhood. They have one existing complex down Micah, I'm sorry, wherever the cross street is, I'm forgetting the name.
Windsor.
But they certainly did want to see more apartments, and that is what a majority of the property is currently zoned with the R4.
That they want to see more of them, or they?
Did not.
Okay.
They were appreciative that we came and engaged them and the concessions that were made, and I think what we heard uniformly was they certainly didn't want to see any more apartments in the area. So they, and by default, were favoring Racetrack over those that were still in some levels of uncertainty. Were certainly by default in favor of the racetrack over the possibility of more apartments, which is the majority of the zoning.
I see.
Anyone else have any questions?
I've been reading here, you're also communicating with the Chick-fil-A, right?
Yes, sir. We have a letter of support from Chick-fil-A. We've been in contact with them on site design and kind of making these two properties work together. So we have gained the support of Chick-fil-A for this application, yes, sir.
So is that drive or egress coming out of Raceway, is that going to connect to Chick-fil-A's driveway or no?
There is a driveway,
Yeah, I
Yeah,
see it
there
here.
is one connection.
exit 2, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
okay.
Egress only.
Huh? Only egress?
Yeah, the coordination with racetrack is, I assume lots of people in the community have been there. There are currently off of Michael Way, there are two curb cuts. I'll call it the western or northern one is both an ingress, incoming, and an outbound, but then the one nearest the traffic signal is an egress only, like a double-sized
Gotcha.
exit-only lane.
Okay.
Coming out there. That would go away, the egress only, per coordination with Chick-fil-A, this is what they want to see. And that would be replaced by an egress only that's shown on the site plan coming out of Chick-fil-A to line up with kind of a shared driveway leading to the signal.
Yeah.
And that was involving both the civil engineer and the traffic engineers on both sides, racetracks and Chick-fil-A. So this was really, the design was in a lot of ways dictated and requested by Chick-fil-A.
Would that change the traffic signal anyway?
Does not change the traffic signal in any way.
Any other questions?
Not right now.
Okay, well, of course, first thing we would have to do is vote to have a public hearing. So we will put this on the next meeting to vote to have a public hearing or not. All right, thank y'all, appreciate it. All right, number 2, discuss the resolution for a one-time pay raise for city employees. Mr. Kinnaman.
Thank you, Mr. Bailey. It has long been the law, as passed by the legislature in its infinite wisdom, that it is illegal to give bonuses to public employees. Shortly after the legislature did that, some smart city attorneys came up with a concept of one-time pay raises, which are legal under the laws of the state of Alabama. The city of Scottsboro gives its Christmas one-time pay raise each year. And
Yes.
this is the resolution authorizing that.
Okay. Anyone have questions or comments on that? I believe we all understand it pretty well. So we'll move that to next week's meeting. Or, I'm sorry, not next week, 2 weeks from now. And number 3, discuss the resolution to award the bid for the 1-ton truck for the street department. Ms. Phillips, will you go over that?
We posted 1 bid, mailed 9 bids, and received 6 bids for the 2024 or newer 1-ton truck for the street department. It's recommended that the bid be awarded to Buster Miles Chevrolet with a low bid of $59,442.88.
Okay. And I wish I could buy a truck, $3,500 for that price. Whew. Anyone have any comments or questions on that? We'll move that to the next meeting too. All right. That'll conclude the meeting tonight. There's no delegation, so we'll go to reports. Mayor?
Thank you, Mr. Bailey. I have nothing tonight.
Thank you. Mr. Dahl?
I don't have anything.
Mr. Oliver?
I don't have anything. Thank you for coming.
Mr. Ashburn?
I don't have anything, thank you.
Ms. Frederick?
Well, I just want to say that tomorrow is a big day.
Yes.
I guess you heard about it, but there is going to be an election tomorrow, so I'll be there, but please, everybody, go out and vote your heart.
There you go. Thank you. I want to remind everyone, there's no meeting next Monday, Veterans Day. So just remind you that the 18th will be the next meeting. We will have a meeting and a work session that night. So also, the December SWDA meeting will be moved to the November 18th meeting. We're going to move it up to get that out of December and go ahead and have that meeting at 4 o'clock on the 18th.
Okay.
I want to remind everybody, the garbage schedule next week's going to change since we're closed on Monday. If you're a Monday, you go to Tuesday. If you're a Tuesday, you go to Wednesday. Thursday and Friday stay the same. So just a reminder on that now. With that being said, I appreciate everyone coming out. Enjoyed seeing everybody sworn in, and I really appreciate the support and your confidence in me still. Thank you. That being said, we're adjourned.